I'm Jesse with CaseMaster. Today, we'll be reviewing how to generate documents for specific opponents, accounts, banks, and employers. This video requires prior knowledge of our document generation process, so if you are unfamiliar, please view our document generation basics video before proceeding. To start though, we'll view how the case file we'll be testing is configured. We can see here as well, I am in version 5.1 of the application. So your screen may look a little different than mine, but the same features should apply. The first area we'll look at is the accounts screen. On this page, we can see that we have two accounts configured, one with account number 111 and one with account number 222. These account numbers will make for easy identification later in the video. The next area we'll be looking at is the debtor screens. Again, we have two set up. The first being John Doe and the second being Jane Doe. Both debtors are fully configured as well, with addresses and phone numbers saved. Also on the debtor screen, on the Financials tab, we have the banks and employers set for each debtor. Now we can move to the Documents screen. Here we can generate documents as seen in the Document Generation Basics video. We'll be focusing on the right-hand side of this screen for today though. With these selection boxes to the right, we can choose who to generate the document for, meaning whose information to populate the merge fields with. For example, if I were to select the first debtor in the first account before generating, the first debtor's information and the first account's information would populate in the general merge fields for this document. Before we start generating documents though, let's look at the template itself. If we navigate to Administration, Setup, Document Templates, and open our template, we can see the pre-configured template here. I set this template up earlier to demonstrate a few things. First, we can see in the debtor section 3 fields. All fields are the opponent's full name, but with a slight difference in each. In the first, for example, since this is the default field with no opponent number, this will pull from the selected debtor on the case file's Documents screen. The next two have a number next to opponent though. This means no matter which debtor is selected, the first opponent will always generate for opponent 1 and the second opponent will always generate for opponent 2. In the account section below, we can see some account fields inserted. Similarly to the default debtor's name above, these will generate based on which account is selected on the case file Documents screen. The field I'll point out in this grid is Account ID. This field will help ensure that the account we have selected is what was pulled, as it will return 1 or 2 based on which account is selected. Lastly, we have the bank and employer fields. The first two fields are not dependent on which bank or employer we select. They are determined by which bank or employer is selected as the default on the debtor's financial screen. For more information on this, please view our Financial Calculator YouTube video on how to set up default banks and employers. Now that we know which document merge fields are used, we'll navigate back to the case file to begin generating documents. First, we'll generate a document with the first debtor and account selected. Notice that in the debtor section, the opponent's name is the same as opponent 1. We can see here too that the account ID is 1. Lastly, we can see since we didn't select a bank or employer, the selected bank or employer field is left blank. The two default fields to the left though have been populated with the default for each, based on the opponent 1 configurations. Now though, we'll exit and then select the second debtor and account, this time also selecting a bank. Once generated, we can see that the first debtor field is the only one that's changed. This demonstrates how useful it could be if you need your template to change based on the debtor that you wish, or how useful these fields are if you want the first debtor's name no matter which debtor is selected. In the account section here, we can see all information has changed. We can verify here too that the second account is what is pulled by the ID here. Lastly, we can see that the bank and employer has also updated, as our second debtor has different defaults for these fields. We can also see here that our selected field now has a value in it, since we selected one previously. Combining all these options allows for complex and accurate documents, no matter your firm needs. I encourage you to create your own templates and test these combinations of merge fields available. As always, if you have any additional questions, feel free to contact us through the contact support icon in the application or through our website. Thank you and have a great day.